Hi, welcome back to Making It with Minglet. Today I am going to give you a flip through. This particular journal is a wedding journal, and today is the big day. It's for my niece and her fiance, Phillip. They've been dating for quite some time, and we are excited that today they are going to tie the knot. And I have made a journal for them, and I tried to think about how I wanted to make the journal before I started, and I wanted to be sure that it was something that was going to be sentimental. She is wearing a dress that was made by my mother for her mother, and so I started thinking about what I had and what I could use, and I decided to use a dress that my mother wore when she got married to her third husband. Now that sounds bad, but each one had passed away before she moved on. So um, she just got married 3 times, surprisingly. I would have never thought it would be that way, but my dad died young, and that's the way things happen. But this was the dress she wore. I put just a simple printed fabric underneath, and I stitched everything to make it look really finished. This will not be as junky as my journals usually are. It does have grunge because the kit I selected had the right colors, and it did have some grunge. Now I'm using some new lighting, and I'm going to be trying to get it tweaked to where we're getting the best of what we have here. Okay, so this part right here. This was off her garter, my mother's garter, and this was just out of a book. It said today is special. This is her little guest registry, and I used these little snippets of information. It says family, people linked together by common ancestors, people who are bonded together by love, and friends. It's a noun, those who share a mutual fondness of one another. And I did a video on this a few days ago to where I added the edging to this page. And I went back and I stitched it, and I folded it to where they're doubles. So you see the lines on the back side. I used a ledger sheet, but you don't see it, just on its own. But they're peeking through back there. You can tell what was used. And so that is going to be her guest entries. And that's already attached to her book. This is an envelope that I played with. I used just a variety of things here. I've used a piece of my mom's wedding dress. And that was just grunge. I was just playing with stuff on my plate, trying to lift stuff up and clean it up. Here's a picture of the bride and the groom, and I added some fancy stuff to it. This is a kit that I got off of Etsy, and it was very inexpensive, but it had the right colors. It had sage and it had peach. Now this is Chopper. Chopper is the baby in the household, and he is going to be at the wedding today wearing a tuxedo. And if I had known ahead of time that was going to happen, I would have had her take a picture of him and use that, but I didn't want to spill all the secrets. This page, I used a stencil an impression plate that I made myself, and you can see more about that. I started working on these pages when I did a live stream with Michelle Waltz. I will add her link in. But I took just a cracker box for the cardboard, and then I put the fabric around, and so it wouldn't slip, I sewed it, and I have made so many beautiful pages with it. Look at that. I just kept playing. That's just a clean-up page off of my gel plate. Got some note cards in here, and I've got extra ones made, and I'm going to have those available for people to make a message. Have adventures. And I took some of her pictures off of Facebook, where they were out doing things. So they've been having a lot of fun together, and I think that this next chapter is going to be beautiful as well. And this picture I love because when I started trying to figure out how I was going to lay out my pages, I don't know if you can see how the sun is kind of beaming across her face, but the movement on this page kind of goes across with it, so it just really paired up well. These are lace scraps that were in my mom's bin of stuff. They go to the football games. I put love on there. These little flags can act as little holding spots for cards. Let me see. Got some loose ones here. That one's got the curl. I want to curl up. It can be added like this. I ran out of time, but I wanted to make her some paper clips, and I'll have those ready for her in a few days, but they didn't make it just yet. And that was when they were at like a New Year's Eve thing or, some special celebration where they got all dressed up and looking very nice. That's some of my mom's lace. Just an envelope, and I opened it at the top so that we can insert some of the cards in it. This is another envelope, and you'll notice I use materials that are easily available. Coffee filter. This was a book that I picked up for 10 cents, and it basically is watercolor papers, and it had watercolors in it, but I looked at the book and I thought, oh, this is cool, but when I opened it and started looking at it, I thought, I don't know that I'll use it. So that being said, I decided that it would be good to make prints with, and where I took it apart, it had these jagged edges, and I left those natural. I did not do anything to it. You'll notice that I've stitched, zigzag stitched with the same just neutral thread all the way through. Most of the ribbons and things are sewn on. And if you do coffee filters, if you will sew across the bottom and sew around it first, then sew across the bottom, it will kind of add to the strength of that more so than I found glue does. I thought this print turned out very good. That was using the kind of sagey green. It's got some of the pink in it. That dress looked really cute on my mom. And that was a real happy day. The whole family pitched in. We all, kind of pitched in together to throw things together for them and make it a nice little celebration. And lots of their friends came, so it was nice. This paper has a nice texture to it from that book. Easy pocket. This was from one of my mom's tablecloths that I cut up because it had stains on it. She didn't throw things away. She kept things, so needless to say, I thought, okay, what can I do with this? And that was before I started making junk journals. And now I just find all kinds of ways to use her little stuff, and I've given a lot of it away. I mean, I feel blessed to be able to continue a crafting lifestyle. The sewing machine I used was hers, so to me these are things that are special, and I think that it's going to be fun to share it with my niece because I've not made a journal for her before, and I think this is probably the best journal I've ever made as far as the construction. It's the neatest. And I have left room between the signatures. I have left room to where if she wants me to add her cards in, I can get those in for her. I will probably bind them on their own and then put them in, but I've left room for that. And I think she'll like that because I know I kind of kept my cards and I appreciate them. Looking back over the years, as people come and go, it's kind of neat to be able to see, you know, who's still in your life after all those years. And I had these little flowers. I had those, and I was able to get those and use them in here. And the green is not exact, but it kind of coordinates enough that I think it has a nice look to it. He's putting a ring on it today. Always and forever. This one's a little bit darker and hotter pink, but I really liked the way it turned out. And here's one where they're all dressed up. And they're standing on a quote that says, "One love." And then on this coffee filter, it says, "Better together." Here's some more of the little quotes or definitions. Affection, a noun, a compelling fondness for another person or persons. This was, at one point, this was a piece of lingerie. It was. But when it no longer fit, it was kind of sacrificed. It was either going to Goodwill, because it was only worn once, or it was becoming crafting material. So we chose to make it crafting material. And it had like little pink net, and I've used that several times throughout. So, sometimes your supplies can come from unlikely sources. This is a piece of deli paper, and you know how fragile it can be. But I didn't do a lot of sewing on that. Well, I did, but it actually punches holes in it, just FYI. So if you're using it, be aware that if your tension is off, you're going to tear it up. Here it says fondness, a noun. To like something or someone. She has a fondness for chocolate. That's several people in my house. Love at first sight. And this page has golden peach on it. And here's one of the cards that I made using the fine, netty stuff off the lingerie. Handsome, beautiful. Those are places for his picture to go and her picture to go. I have a pocket here, to put notes in. And I made some journal cards on cardstock, and I've used a lot of different shapes so that I can help her fill these pockets afterwards. Got a little lovebird on it. And I love the way this turned out. The colors, when I looked at it, I thought, hey, I don't know about that. But when I put that piece from the kit, that lacy green piece, it just really popped. So that will house, a little note card. Or maybe not. Actually, yeah, it can. I thought I kept something in there long enough, but apparently not. This says devotion. It's a noun, to be dedicated to a person or activity. This is off of one of my mom's little shirts that she loved very dearly. And this is a piece of her wedding dress. And there's some of her scrap lace she had. Just married. This is another pocket made out of a coffee filter. Got a little flap for tucking. There's some of the lingerie netting. Tenderness, a noun, to be gentle and kind to other living things. More netting. We've got a pocket to love and cherish. And that's not a pocket. Yeah, that's a pocket. That's got the netting on it. And if you use netting, you can twist it easily and make a little bow tie. I think I did that on a couple of them and sewed it down. But you can make a bow tie, or you could just gather it. If you're gathering it, you can use like a popsicle stick to kind of push it up. Or some people may have a tool for that, but I don't. If I do, I don't know what it is. So use what you got, people. Use what you got. Right, here's another piece of deli, and there's lovebirds. This is another piece of that lingerie. It says, "Will you marry me?" And I did not have one of their pictures from their engagement, so Better Together. And see, these colors all just work together. I used pink, peach, sage green. I used some sepia and tried to just do, different things without being so boring. This was actually some of the Lindy spray that I sprayed through, and it was a little bit darker than I wanted, but I kind of liked it in the end. There's a ring stamp I already had. I've got a rose stamp, and that's from Stampin' Up. There's another one of the pages with the little flowers. And I stitched around every single page and envelope so that I can make it as strong as possible. These were just some inexpensive stencils that I had. I did those on the gel plate, and they picked up some pretty little colors. And there you have it. We're at the end, and I just want to say I'm going to send this to Meredith. Meredith, I've watched you from the time you were just a little tiny baby girl. When you rushed into the world, just shot out like a rocket, and just about came to us in the elevator at the hospital. So you were quick to make your arrival, and I want to say that it has been so much fun watching you grow, and I am excited about sharing this next chapter of your life with you and Phillip. And I hope that this gift will be something that you love and cherish. And I'm looking forward to you and Phillip having a beautiful life together. And we look forward to the things that you get to go and do and how you live your life together. So for now, I want to end as like I always do. I want you to know I love you, and Phillip, welcome to the family, and I look forward to spending more time with you. I know we see each other on the holidays because our family gets together, but we can always see each other in between too. So I know life gets in the way sometimes, but that's that. Before I go, I made this envelope that I will put inside the journal, but for now it's holding the little journal cards that I'm going to put out beside the guest book to where people can choose a card and leave a note. I'm going to take pens and markers and let them just choose. And then the stickers that were left over are in the pocket. And when the journal cards are out, it will happen like this. And this was made out of wallpaper. The wallpaper was free to me. All I had to do was cut it out of the book, and that really matches well. So that's that. And then I made like a little portfolio with extra tags. That way when they go on trips, or somebody says something funny, or they want to add to their journey, they can. So that's it, and for now, I want you to be well. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think my lighting is getting better, and I hope that you will all be well until I see you next time. Be well, my friends. Bye-bye.